Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So it looks like Argylle, Matthew Vaughn's new film, is flopping massively at the box office and is not getting great reviews at all on Rotten Tomatoes or pretty much any platform. So we're going to be taking a look at this article here from Deadline, which the headline states, Argylle crashes with C+ cinema score and $18 million opening. Can Apple sustain this reign of $200 million productions? Let's take a look at this first paragraph here, and this says, while the theatrical marketplace is starving for big movies post-strike, Apple Original Films' $200 million pickup of Matthew Vaughn's Argylle isn't cutting it with an $18 million domestic and $35 million global start, C+ cinema score, and 3 stars on ComScore/Screen Engine's post-track. So again, looking at this, Argylle cost $200 million to make. It had a budget of $200 million and only made $18 million domestically at the box office, which is not great. It was the most successful film this weekend at the box office. Like, it did make the most money this weekend, but this is an opening weekend, so this is expected to make more money than everything else. And it is I guess it's a big film, but this is not good at all. I mean, on top of the C+ cinema score, it had a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is just not good. I mean, I could tell from the trailers that this wasn't going to be good. Like, I had a feeling it wasn't going to be good. And Matthew Vaughn has made some good films in the past, but I just feel like the trailers weren't cutting it for me, and I felt like the action and the trailers, the tone was off in the trailers for me. And so I guess that's why I sort of predicted it. Also, in the reviews, there is sort of a common theme of the entire film being a bait and switch, because Henry Cavill, on all the posters and all the trailers, he is top billed. But apparently, spoiler alert, within the film, it's a bait and switch, and the main stars are actually Sam Rockwell and Bryce Dallas Howard, which they are being praised for their performances in the reviews. But again, I guess their performances just aren't good enough to save the film from the mix of tone and story and plot and writing problems. But anyway, that has clearly translated within the box office. I don't know if the film would have done better had the film received better reviews and stuff, but I have to assume that it would, because that's what you would hope in this movie landscape, that the better the film, the better it does the box office. But we have seen time and time again that has not proven to be all that true in a lot of cases. But yeah, I think the main takeaway from this is that $200 million for this film is insane. I know Apple didn't produce the film, they just picked it up. Matthew Vaughn what he does with his films is he likes to make them first and finance them, I guess, himself or independently, and then find a studio to pick them up. So that way he can avoid studio interference and can have full creative control of his films. And in this case, it doesn't look like it's working. I mean, a 35% on Rotten Tomatoes with a C+ cinema score. I mean, cinema scores usually are typically more lenient and typically higher than like a Rotten Tomatoes, because with cinema scores, the way it's worked is they poll audiences who have seen the film, who had just come out of the film, And so it's typically typically when people leave films, they are more lenient towards it. I mean, when I first watched Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I thought it wasn't that bad, but I eventually realized that it's not that good upon thinking about it. It's actually quite bad upon thinking about it. And so I think that could be the case with cinema scores in a lot of cases, but this film getting a C+ on cinema score is not great. I mean, I think Wonka got like an A- or something, or a B+. And so that just goes to show the difference in quality with the recent films that have come out. But anyway, $200 million for this film. I mean, I've been saying for a while that there's no reason a film needs to cost this much, unless it's like a film like Endgame, or like a closing to a Star Wars trilogy like Rise of Skywalker or something. There is no world in which just an original film, no matter how massive the cast is, needs to cost $200 million. I mean, I guess a lot of that would have gone to salary, because the cast is stacked. We have Henry Cavill, Dua Lipa, Bryce Dallas Howard, Sam Rockwell, Samuel L. Jackson. I think also Bryan Cranston is in this too, among other actors who I'm sure are also in this one, which I'm forgetting. But again, those salaries are going to be extremely high because these are all A-listers. And so I think that's probably part of the reason that the budget is so massive. But it just, again, this is a massive failure, and it really does suck, because this is the first big film to come out of the year, and to see it flopping like this is just disappointing. And I think Matthew Vaughn, he is a talented director, right? He was the director of the Kick-Ass films, I think at least the first one. I'm not sure if he did the second, but he did the first one. And he's did the Kingsman films, and so he is a talented director, and to see him flop like this is just a bit upsetting. I mean, I haven't seen the film myself. I will eventually watch it. I'm not going to see it in theaters. I will wait for it to come out on VOD or streaming when I do eventually watch it. But I could just tell from the trailers that it didn't look good. You know, I think these films, they don't need to cost that much, and they don't typically do well. Like, I'm trying to think of the last film that's similar to this. The Lost City, I think, is sort of a good film to compare this to, because The Lost City, starring Sandra Bullock, which came out a few years ago, Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, it did quite well. But the thing about that was that movie was actually quite good, and it didn't cost a lot. The budget wasn't massive on it, and so that film was rewarded, I guess, for its quality, and it made its money back, which this film does not look like it's going to. But, you know, we could see, you know, I don't think the film will have legs, especially because it's not that great of a film in itself. If it was a great film, I would probably be like, you know what, maybe it'll pick up again in the second weekend, but it doesn't look like it's happening. So yeah, that's it for this video. I just wanted to get on here and talk about the massive flop, which is Argylle. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Have you seen the film? Did you enjoy it? What do you think of the box office? Do you think it will have legs? Do you think it will make its money back? I doubt it with a $200 million budget. Also, what do you think about the whole situation with the films overblowing their budgets? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Also, if you have not already, make sure you like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. Also, turn on post notifications if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.